To be honest, I'm kind of excited. For many years, I sewed in a different room, and since moving into this room and setting it up, my storage scenario is just a little bit different. And I've been fighting fabric, and you might be able to relate to this. Do you fight your fabric that's on your shelves? I totally do. I stack fabric. I'm a fabric stacker, so that's what I tend to do. But lately, I've been kind of looking around at different options for storing fabric. And while I'm not like a mega folder, I think I'm going to become somewhat of a small mega folder. This is what I did. I went to the store and I got some foam core boards. I will leave a link in the description for you so you can do your own search and find them there. But I'm going to show you how I'm going to turn my folded piles into nice folded stacks using the foam core. Hey, if you're new here, I'm Becky from Patchworkers Plus, my online quilt group where I help you finish what you start, use what you have, build friendships without leaving your sewing room, and so much more. There's going to be a link in the description for more information and for you to sign up to get a little freebie if you want. All right, let's look and see how we can use these foam core boards to organize our fabric. I think after I figure this out, I'm going to, well, I have been looking, but have not been successful yet in finding bins, because I would like some clear bins, either with a lid or that can stack that I can put my fat quarter bundles in, because I don't want to unravel those and fold them up on here. I want to keep them all together until I figure out what I'm going to sew. But right now they don't lend themselves very easily. I would like to stack a few on my shelf. So if you have any suggestions, of course, drop it in the comments. Let me know, because I am going to be on a hunt for that as well. All right, let's get cutting these foam boards. First things first, let's talk about the foam boards that I got. So I actually got two different brands. This one is from Walmart. And to be honest, they feel exactly the same. I know Amazon has some, but they're more expensive. So at Walmart or the dollar store, they are $1 or roundabout. This one is from the dollar store. They look pretty much the same, identical. So quality-wise, I'm not sure. I guess maybe with wear and tear, we'll figure it out. So I have a total of, I think, 11 boards, and, you know, I probably grabbed some more, but I think for now this will work. The first thing you're going to do is measure this and cut it up into pieces. And so this is a 20 by 30, all right? And so what I'm going to do is cut it in half, cut the two halves into, I think, 4 pieces. Let me double check that. Yes, 4 pieces that are going to be 7.5 inches each. So what I'm going to do is, I think I might use my hair marker. So I'm going to find the center with my ruler, and I'm going to make a dent or a mark with that. And I'm going to go just a little bit further down the road here and mark it again at the 10. And now I can line up my marks with my ruler and really make a good dent and possibly cut into the board. Does not have to be perfect. Okay, it's not going to be perfect, so just go with it. Now what I'm going to do is cut the board. I am so not perfect, but I'm just pressing hard into the board using the ruler as my guide. Probably could use scissors. Maybe actually I should use my rotary cutter. Don't scream at me in the comments for for using my rotary. But let's see. Oh gosh, this is so much better. And hopefully it's cutting that paper at the bottom as well. If it didn't go all the way through, you can kind of snap it. And as you can see, I am not perfect in my measuring here. Wow, that's quite a bit off. I need to learn how to measure a little bit better. As a quilter, that's quite embarrassing. But what we're going to do is just keep moving on. So we're going to count 7.5, and then we are going to cut again. I think my next one will be a better example because I'll be starting off a little bit better. And actually, I just had a thought. Now that I have one cut the proper size, I can just use that as my guide. That might be easier to hold. You are going to have a rotary cutter that has, you know, a larger blade because you're going to have to get through all of those layers. All right, I have 4. Now I'm going to repeat that process for the other, and wow, they are all different sizes, and that's embarrassing. Here we go. All right, now I'm ready to fold my fabric onto these boards. Okay, this is the first pile that's going to be up. I don't know. Sometimes there's just no reasoning to what we have, what we collect, and what we store, right? There's going to be smudges on here. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. This is a smaller piece. That's like a fat quarter. I don't know if I want to fold those into. This is a charm pack in my pile. Nope. That's a fat quarter. I might come back and fold these up to it. I'm not sure. This one is a larger piece. But do you know what? I know sometimes when you do large pieces, it doesn't stay on the board, or it might be too thick, but I'm going to give this one a try. What you want to do is have your fabric measure just a little bit smaller than that 10 inches long. And so depending on what the cut is, you can fold it into thirds. My piece was large enough that I folded it in half so it would just roll over it. Okay, I think that's going to work. All right, I'm just going to lay my board on it and start rolling. Oh my heavens, why didn't I do this so long ago? Now, I've seen some where you tuck the edge and you pin, where you fold the corner and pin this right here. You're gonna just have to play around with how you fold this very last if you're going to use maybe a paper clip or a pin. When I put my design wall up with the foam, what are they? Bulletin board squares. I bought these teeny tiny, they're a little bit of push pins. It might be applique. I'm not sure. Anyways, those pins I think will be perfect for this because they're not very deep, but they will hold without going through everything. Oh my heck. I think I love this. This is my Bigfoot fabric from Alaska. When I taught on the cruise, we hopped into the quilt shop. I had a plan for this, and I'm not sure what happened, but I didn't use it yet. All right, so one down, many to go. Like, why do I have random fabric that I just love? It makes me happy, but I kind of question my taste sometimes. This is kitty cat heads. Oh, yay. I have an extra piece. I'm just going to tuck it in here. Just going to tuck it right in here. Make sure everything is nice and smooth. And you're just going to roll it up. I think I like the point to come down, or the corner to come down a little bit. I think I might like that. This one's going to wrap to the other side. Pull it tight, and then put a pin in it. I'm not sure why I waited so long to do this. Another random. This is my random fabric collection pile, apparently. All right, this is what it looks like now. So I need to find a place for it on my shelf. But wow. And I'm ready to cut another panel, this time probably just with my rotary cutter. Maybe it does take up a little bit more space. However, because you can stack them vertically on your shelf, you can easily like pull them in and out. I did double up some of these because one, there wasn't a whole lot of fabric with the single, and two, they were the same print just in a different color tone. So why not stick them together? I'm going to check out a couple no more piles on my shelf, but that is how you use those foam core boards for your fabric storage. To be honest, I'm kind of excited.